Hello everyone, how's it going? And welcome to today's Wild Rift video on patch 4.4. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at all the minions and the minion updates coming into patch 4.4. And we have a new minion coming into the fray. I'm just going to call it a blaster minion because it has like a big massive bazooka basically on his shoulder. I don't really know what the official name of the minion is called. There's not really a lot of details or anything about that on the beta server, but one thing I was able to do is compare 4.3 to 4.4 in terms of minions. So what you'll see on screen is patch 4.3 on the left with the gold, with the total gold, and then patch 4.4 on the right with also the total gold. So you'll see throughout this video, as I'm talking about the new minions and what this means to the game in general, you'll see that there is a little bit of difference between the two. Now, I believe the wave coming up very, very soon is going to be the first wave that you're going to be able to see the bazooka minion. There you go. You can see it there on the right hand side, just walking along. The third one from the back. So you can see that it's a little bit different to the cannon minion. Now, this new blaster minion is a lot weaker than the cannon minion. And I mean a lot weaker. In terms of gold as well, it only gives you 65 gold compared to 80 gold from a cannon minion. And also the melee minions only give you 60 gold. So technically it's only 5 more gold than a blaster minion. But what you'll see throughout this video is that for patch 4.3 at the moment, we have one weaker wave and we have one stronger wave. We have one wave which has 2 melees and 2 caster minions, the range minions. And then we have two melee minions, a cannon minion, and a caster minion. So this will change throughout the game. So it'll be 1-1. It will just be one weaker wave, one stronger wave, one weaker wave, one stronger wave. You'll see this throughout the entire video. But on patch 4.4, what they're doing is they're basically saying, okay, goodbye cannon minions for the early game. And I say early game, it's pretty much up until 30 minutes, which is, you know, pretty much not even early. It's early and mid game. You're not going to be seeing cannon minion at all. And then they're saying, we're just going to allow this bazooka minion, this new minion, to spawn throughout the game. So every single wave now is overall going to be weaker because cannon minion is obviously stronger, but you're not going to get punished as much now for, say for example, for going back to base when there's a cannon minion there, because losing cannon minions at the moment does lose you quite a bit of gold and also a bit of experience. I can't really work out the experience. Experience is very difficult to work out with these new minions, but overall I think the XP will be roughly around the same as the gold itself. Like roughly you'll get like a little bit more. You can see at the moment the difference is we're already getting a little bit more gold from patch 4.4. So this total gold that you're seeing on screen, this is the total gold that you're getting throughout the game if you kill every single minion, because caster minions are 40 gold, melee minions are 60 gold, blaster minions 65, and cannon minions are 80. So I basically went through an entire game on both sides and I put them side by side like you can see in this video, and I worked out the gold on either side and I was able to come up with this type of video. So hopefully you will find this a little bit interesting to look at. So what does this mean in general? So like I said, most of the waves are going to be, well, all the waves are going to be the same now in patch 4.4. Again, as I just briefly mentioned, it means that overall you're not going to feel as punished by going back to base when there's a cannon minion. You're just going to pretty much be staying the exact same. So you can pretty much go back to base whenever you want to. The big thing to note is when the objective spawns, like when these objective spawns, how much is the gold difference when the objective spawns? Obviously the first dragon in patch 4.4, the same as 4.3, is at 5 minutes. So you're roughly looking at about how much gold you're getting at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And then that just obviously depends if you kill every single minion. If you're not able to kill every single minion, then obviously you're not going to get this much gold. And obviously kills come into fray and assists and all that sort of stuff. So this is just the minions in general. And you'll see here that this is the first dragon coming up now. So at the first dragon, you actually get 65 more gold in patch 4.4. Now, as I said, even though the cannon minions is a lot stronger than these blaster minions, because these blaster minions come at every single wave now and not once every 2 waves like in patch 4.3 with the cannon minions, overall you're actually getting more gold. Now 65 gold is not a lot. I'll be totally honest with you, 65 gold is not a lot of gold at all, but more gold is more gold, which makes it very, very interesting, because as the game goes on, you're going to get more and more gold up until 12 minutes, which kind of makes catching minion waves and getting minion waves in general more important. I already say to people that when you come out of base, especially as like an AD carry or mid lane or a top lane or any lane that you're playing, even jungle itself, you always want to look at what lane you can go to get the most value for your money. If that's going in the jungle, going on the opposite side of the map and taking some of the jungle creeps because the jungle is either dead or on the opposite side of the map, hey, do it. Junglers might hate me for saying that, but the jungle camps spawn very quickly. And if they're just sitting there doing nothing while your jungler's on the opposite side of the map, or your jungler is just dead basically, then it's worth taking because you'll get more gold for yourself and then your team will add up for more money. Same as catching waves as well. If your top laner's dead, for example, or if your top laner's down a dragon or something like that, and there's a big massive wave crashing into the top lane tower, the tier 2 or even the tier 1 tower, go up there, take the minions, take them for yourself. It's always very important to make sure that you don't lose minions, and this makes it even more important now in terms of losing minions, because with these new blaster minions, not only are they give more gold, but they're also a lot weaker in terms of health. The cannon minions have a lot of HP and they can tank a lot of tower shots, which helps for dives and things like that. These new blaster minions are nowhere near as strong as the cannon minions, so they're going to die a lot quicker from the towers, which means you might even be losing some minions underneath the tower and everything like that. Again, these gold values are if no minions die, so it's a bit vague, but I wanted to show you anyway kind of the differences and everything. So yeah, they're a lot weaker, these blaster minions, in terms of HP as well. They're not going to do as much damage, so you're not going to take as much damage if you're trying to trade in the mini wave, and they'll die a lot quicker as well. Whether that's pushing towers, whether that's just clearing the wave, they are going to die a lot quicker. Now, one other thing I want to talk about in terms of the blaster minions and not seeing the cannon minion up to 12 or 13 minutes is that tower dives in general are probably going to be a lot weaker. And the reason I say that is because at the moment, when you're looking for a tower dive, if you're a jungler, you're normally looking for that cannon wave. When you're going to the cannon wave, you're looking for that cannon wave, and then you're like, okay, that cannon minion can tank a few shots before I get the perfect opportunity to be able to look underneath the tower. You're not going to have that big massive window anymore when that cannon minion does spawn. You're only going to have a little bit of a window because these blaster minions are not going to be as tanky, so the waves are going to die a lot quicker and everything like that as well. Now we're coming up to the second dragon now as well, which will be coming up very soon. Again, you'll be able to see the difference between the patch 4.3 and 4.4. Sorry, I'm gonna go a little bit ahead here. Where is the... Oh yeah, it's 9 minutes, isn't it? I completely forgot. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was something else. So basically how I worked out the second dragon is okay, second dragon is going to be very difficult to predict because it depends on when the first dragon dies. It's 4 minutes after the first dragon dies. So what I did was I basically said, okay, if the dragon spawns at say 4 minutes, it dies at like 5 minutes, for example, you know, 5 minutes, maybe even longer than that. Oh, sorry, the first dragon spawns at 5 minutes. Say it dies at like 6 minutes or something like that, or 5.5 minutes, or around that time. You have to count 4 minutes afterwards. So between 9 minutes 30 seconds and 10 minutes roughly will be the set when the second dragon spawns, and that obviously depends on when the first dragon is taken down. Again, you can see here the total gold difference is not that big of a deal. It's just 110 gold, and this will happen throughout the entire game. You'll just be getting the same blaster minions over and over again, and yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. In terms of how this is going to affect things, as I said, tower dives are probably going to be weaker. It's going to be a lot easier now for champions like Kai'Sa and Tristana to clear minion waves and to crash the waves, which also means that in general, pushing waves at the moment doesn't actually feel that great because of how quickly players can get out of the base and how quickly they can get to lane, and then you're not going to deny that many minions. Maybe denying that blaster minion now is going to be really important because that's good. There's going to be like a few blaster minions throughout the entire game, which is very interesting. Obviously, this keeps going on. I'll skip this a little bit forward until right at the point where we're looking at 12 minutes and roughly 30 seconds. Now, this is where things change. Basically change. You can see patch 4.4 and patch 4.3 are now exactly the same. So basically all the minions before 12.5 minutes are going to be different. So you're going to be seeing that bazooka minion, which is going to give a little bit more gold, not that much, but it's going to make tower dives and everything weaker, and you're not going to get the cannon minions anymore. After 12.5 minutes, we're going to be seeing the cannon minion on both patch 4.3 and patch 4.4 every single wave. So that means overall you're just going to be getting, as you can see on screen, about 140 gold more on patch 4.4 than what you do in patch 4.3 up until 12.5 minutes. And after 12.5 minutes, that kind of gets to a point of the game where they want to try and end the game in terms of Riot. You know, they roughly want the games to last between 15 to 20 minutes. So like, okay, cool, 12.5 minutes, we need to start spawning these cannon minions. Maybe they'll start taking waves more often. Obviously 12 minutes is when the Baron spawns as well, so they don't want you know, they don't want to be able to use the Baron buff on the bazooka minions, which is one big thing. So yeah, that is basically it. So then you'll see is that the next wave coming up after this is also going to be a cannon wave in patch 4.4 and 4.3. So that's really the big changes coming in to patch 4.4. Like I said, I don't think this is going to affect too much. I mean, it's kind of cool that we're getting a new minion and he looks kind of cool as well. But I don't think it's going to affect too much. As I mentioned, 65 gold is 65 gold. 140 gold is 140 gold. But as you can see, after that mark, you're going to see that it's going to be a cannon minion every single time after the 12.5 minutes mark. So that's basic. That's the basic rundown. I just wanted to do a quick video just to cover what's happening with the new minions, and again do this comparison because I think the comparison is quite important, especially for players like myself that want to see like how much gold potential I can get for first dragon, what items I can buy for that first dragon. Really important for champions like Kai'Sa trying to complete a first item, or whether you want to decide to go boots first, the boots upgrade, or try and go for a first item. We'll have to wait and see. But again, yeah, cannon minions not going to be spawning now until 12.5 minutes in the game, and then it's going to be the same as patch 4.3. Let me know if there's anything in the comments that I've missed out that might change this in terms of the meta. Like I said, well, not in terms of meta, but just in terms of the game in general. I just think the game's going to have a lot less tower dives, and it's going to be a lot harder now to try and you know, push minions, push them underneath the tower and try and take tower platings as well. You might also lose gold in terms of tower platings because you haven't got that cannon minion tanking up for so much damage and allow you to auto attack and take a few tower platings. Maybe that little bit of extra gold that we're getting from patch 4.4 with the new bazooka minions is actually going to turn into negative gold, so we're not going to be able to get enough tower platings. We'll have to see when patch 4.4 comes out. We're still a couple of weeks away. Patch 4.4 comes out on the 25th of October. This is when you'll be able to see all of these changes. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little video about the new minions. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. And as always, take care of yourselves, like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.